you guys, so I hope we can walk away with some fun stuff. And also for Agape Red too for hosting this, so thank you for putting this on. Before I get started, I just kind of like to know a little bit about my audience here, so that way I kind of know who I'm actually speaking to. So if you guys could raise your hand if you would consider yourself like a beginner in terms of like dealing with WordPress. Okay, and how about intermediate and advanced? Okay, perfect. So we got a nice little mixture. So I've got a nice little presentation here. Probably take me 15-20 minutes just to kind of run through. We're going to talk about the fundamental SEO that I personally learned doing this for the last 20 years of my company, JM Web Designs. So I'm a very interactive type person. So I don't want to be preaching at you. What I'm going to be talking about today, in terms of SEO, there are so many different flavors. There's not a right way, I don't truly believe. There's not a wrong way necessarily. So if you guys have any questions as I'm going through, please feel free to interrupt and ask. And then also as we go through and we're done, I'd like to really open it up and answer questions that you guys may have. Okay, so that way it gets very interactive and we can address any questions, concerns from your side. Okay, so, all right.
Did you hit that button already? That button.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me there.
Yeah, no problem. Blinking good. I think it's good.
Okay, we're good. All right, fantastic. All right, so before I begin, I got to get a little shameless plug in here for our company. So, JM Designs, we're just in November of this year, we're going to be celebrating 20 years. Started the company actually back in 1998. I was 14 years old at the time and was going to high school. And basically how I kind of got into it, just a little side note, I was a big WWF fan, okay, so don't judge me, but I used to like watching the WWF and Hulk Hogan and all that stuff. So my friend Michael, that's where you got the J in the end, it was Jonathan and Michael, we got our first computer, we started building like just a website for fun, and we built a little news website. So when the WWE would have their monthly pay-per-views, we would basically kind of do like what we would consider a blog nowadays. We would kind of regurgitate the news of the events, who won the matchups and so forth. And then all of a sudden, we got a call from somebody in New York and says, hey, I stumbled upon your website and we like your logo that you created. We put all the kind of the wrestlers together. And I said, how'd you hear about us? And they said, through Google. And I was like, Google what? So, more I researched into it. So our company started 3 months after Google. The big search engines back in the day for me was like Lycos, Excite, Yahoo. So this whole Google machine, which it's turned into, has been just phenomenal. So I truly believe that has been a part of our success, being at the ground level. And so that's what I'm hoping to share with you guys a little bit today, just what we've experienced building a total of about 650 websites from our start to our inception of our company. From small mom and pop shops, medium, large to major corporations. Kind of very versatile there. We have a total of 15 employees. And in 2017 and 2013, we were awarded Omaha's B2B magazine winner for web design firm. So I was pretty exciting about that. And then we did finally actually achieve the Google Partner certification here this year. So that's a really big accomplishment. All right, just in general, our main bread and butter, literally, I'd say for the last 16, 17 years has been website design. It's in our company name. We're mulling over possibly rebranding a little bit, but that's our main thing. We love functional, beautiful designs that work, that are clear call to actions. Come on in. And then we do a lot of web development, so custom design, custom development in terms of like plugins. We actually used to build, like when we're talking about WordPress today, but we used to custom build our own content management systems. There's somebody in the audience here from Peak Advisor Alliance, and we built a CMS that took about 2,500 hours. It took 2 years to build it. So then when WordPress came along, we're like, ooh, this is kind of nice. And so that really changed the paradigm. So we've been developing on WordPress since 2003. And then of course we do website hosting, security, and then just within the last couple of years, the internet marketing. More of your paid advertising, you know, the pay-per-clicks at the top of the search results, banner advertisements, YouTube videos, a lot more engaging customers on the internet. So that's kind of the mixture of services that we do here. All right, now, before you begin any SEO campaign or you start your journey in SEO, I have a couple different points I want to highlight here. Install Google Analytics, okay? Now I know that might seem basic or primitive, but you would be surprised how many businesses that we've encountered over the years who don't have any form or way to track their results of what they're doing. Whether it is optimizing their website, marketing online, going to polls, whatever it may be, you have to have a way to track and know if your process and the work that you're doing is being successful. So through Google Analytics, you can obviously set up goals and conversions, you can track your progress, success, and you can observe and adjust. So I'm assuming everybody here knows what Google Analytics is, correct? Okay, fantastic. So that's fundamental. You have to have a way, basically a way to track it. If you don't, stop, go back and get that taken care of. Another thing too, I have 2 points here. Define your perfect customer and define your primary service, okay? And like I said, I just want to preface, this is a lot of Jonathan Patton speak, okay? So I do know that if I had it all figured out, or if there was a company, an SEO company that had it all figured out, like, you know, they would dominate the market, but Google's always changing, always evolving, right? So they always got to keep us on their toes. So I'm talking to you primarily from my experience. But the thing that I've noticed in terms of SEO, a lot of businesses or individuals are not really defining what they're trying to go after. They kind of want to just spread this large net, okay? And so what I've seen over the years is Google is getting very, very, very specific, okay? So for example, remember I said my first customer came from New York, and we have customers, we got people from Kuwait and Florida and Georgia and you name it. But now I'd say one customer every 2 years might come from outside of Omaha or Iowa. So it's literally becoming more and more localized, okay? So you have to understand how Google's going to interpret your website in terms of your services and your target customer. Okay, does that make sense? Any questions on that? Because if you don't, or you have kind of a too broad of an approach, it can be very, very challenging to tell you whether or not you're being successful. Okay, so get very specific. And a lot of times people too will get scared of, oh, I don't want to put myself in a box. But that's what Google's going to do. They're going to come into your website, they're going to look at your information, your code, your content, and they are then going to make that determination of what box they're going to put you in. So that's where the SEO optimization comes in. We want to try to get people to be influenced by the code and so forth. Okay? Alright, so what is SEO? SEO is a process by which individuals or businesses take to make sure their website is appealing to both the search engines and the end user. Techniques can vary depending on industry, but the primary idea is to make sure the basic tactics are followed on a consistent and regular basis. Okay, that's key, I'll come to that later. But the crux of the strategy, however, will center on keywords, content. Okay? Alright, so primary goals of SEO. So as with everything, you know, a business wants to generate revenue, they want to basically bring in new customers. So SEO is all about attracting a qualified audience who doesn't know you exist or your product and service. Highlighting your products, services, and information to prove that you're credible and relevant. What's really important too is the credible and relevancy. I'll touch on that here just a little bit. But that's overall kind of why we want to do SEO. You've got to focus on what the goals are, right? So you're trying to get the search engines to be aware of your business or service, and then get that perfect customer to come in to eventually, you know, buy or whatever. And then finally, increase business, grow revenue, brand awareness, etc. And I'm sure you guys all kind of understand this. This is basic there. I want to touch a little bit about some of the SEO elements. Okay. Page title, description, heading tags, permalink, and content. So what we've personally witnessed over the years is that a lot of companies can build these websites, but believe it or not, they miss these simple tags, as we call them. Okay, and I know the old days, people would put all these keywords right in the meta tag keyword, which you guys all know that's been done away with for a long time. So it comes back to these fundamentals. So the Google crawlers come in, they're going to look at your page title, what the page actually reads, your description of that page, a heading tag, permalink, and content. Is there anybody that doesn't understand what any of these are in terms of how it functions from the code perspective? All clear? Okay. So there are some parameters that a lot of some plugins on WordPress will give you some recommendations, and which I'll touch base here in a little bit, like 60 characters. So for example, you don't want to be too long, right? You want to be nice, short, and concise. And I'm sure you've all had a conversation with somebody in your life where they kind of talk and talk and talk and talk, right? And you're like, get to the point. Same principle applies to a website. Don't go too crazy, don't go too elaborative, be concise, be direct to the point. It's going to be your, usually your primary large text, right, across the top of the website. Those three things right there all need to be in sync across your site, okay? So that way Google comes in and they read it on this page, on this page, on that page, and so forth, and they can then get a good grasp on what your whole site is about right then and there. If you skip on any of these, that could really come back and harm you, okay? So either making it too long, too wordy, too keyword heavy, that type of thing. Everybody knows what a permalink is? Okay, perfect. So permalinks, I remember back in the old days too with websites, they were always like question mark equals 125, you know, these long query strings, so I'm really glad to see it come around. It's a lot easier to type in website links nowadays. But once again, your permalink needs to be congruent with everything else that you've done with the page title, description, and heading, okay? And then lastly, of course, your content. So you can't be saying to Google, well, my page is this, my description is this, my heading is this, but my content is not really touching base on it, or it doesn't have those keywords in there. So I'm just really shocked at how a lot of people kind of miss these. So I just want to make sure we bring this up. Basic fundamentals. So do this. This doesn't take a lot of time. It just takes a little bit of thought process to where you describe each and every page properly with the right amount of text and content. Okay. All right, I want to touch base a little bit about some SEO plugins on WordPress here. And there's lots out there on the market, but as I mentioned earlier, the number one thing is tracking. So Google Analytics by Monster Insights. Has anybody ever used that plugin at all before? Okay. Free plugin. It's really slick. They're making a lot of new changes. You have charts and demographics, so instead of having to physically go into analytics and open up a new different session, you can now just log into your WordPress website and see a majority of the content right there. So that saves some time. And also what I like about it is you can't mess up integrating the code into the actual WordPress website. And so if they make changes down the road, any new change will automatically be done once you update that plugin. And I just want to make a side note here too. I don't really deal too much personally in my position with Google Analytics. That's more of our internet marketing specialist. And it's amazing. I'd say within the last 6 months, almost every day she'll come back and she'll report and she'll go, oh my goodness, Google is innovating so quick, so fast, I can barely keep up. It's like drinking out of a fire hose. And she says, I really truly believe Google Analytics, analyzing your data, is going to be the future of all marketing. And if you're not staying up to date and setting up all the conversions and the goals and tracking everything, you're going to get lost. So I cannot impress enough. Really take some time to start studying more into Google Analytics moving forward, because I think that's going to be the key as we get more and more involved in integrating within Google. Does that make sense? Okay, so next plugin, Yoast SEO or all-in-one SEO. That's kind of like the big battle, you know, Ford against Chevy or Dodge against whatever. So we personally at JM, we like all-in-one SEO. But we have a lot of people who love Yoast, and we have nothing against Yoast. There's just some minor little tweaks and things that we just prefer over the other plugin. But systematically, most of them do the same exact thing. They allow you to quickly log into the website. They show you the fields. All you have to do is just take the time to actually do it correct. Okay? Another thing here too, you guys all know what Google Xml Sitemaps are. Okay, so I see it now. Alright, so I'll explain that a little bit. Giving the access to Google, the sitemap to Google, basically is like giving them keys to your house. Okay, so they can come on in, they can look at your furniture, they have access. So every single time that you make new changes to your website, that sitemap literally gets updated with the new information, and then it can then ping or say, hey Google, I made a change, come back and check out what we've done. Okay? So if you don't have that sitemap connection, you're now relying on Google to come back whenever they want. And so you want to try to get them on your side, allow them to come into your home, become a little, nestled in and get comfortable. So it's called Google XML Sitemap. It's a free plugin. It literally takes probably 45 seconds to install. You get the XML link, and I didn't mention it here, but you're going to want to sign up with Google Webmaster Tools. So the Google Webmaster Tools is a free service from Google that allows you to submit that XML sitemap to Google. Okay, so it's very important to make sure you get that aspect completed on all websites. If you don't have it, do it right away. Any questions on that particular item?
Just a side note, when you do the Webmaster Tools thing, they're going to specifically ask you on there for an XML file that resides somewhere on your website in order for them to link to. The great thing about that plugin is that it automatically creates that for you and tells you exactly what the link is to that file. So all you have to do is, once you install that plugin, you copy and paste it into the Webmaster Tools, and you're done. That's it. Where like back in the old days, or even if you're not on WordPress, I guess, you would actually have to like hand write out this big huge XML file if you wanted to check that off your list and actually do that. So thank you WordPress and this plugin for that.
Yeah, I agree. That was every website we would launch, we would always install Google Analytics free of charge just because we know the power in it. And then we actually would by hand create a sitemap. And oh my goodness, my developers were always complaining, like, oh, I hate this task. So when WordPress finally came out, we were like, it was amazing. I mean, it's so nice, it's so fundamental, and such a huge role just to get Google on your side. So every single time that you make a change to your website content, it updates the sitemap and then it pings them so they come right back. And that's all basically what Google's looking for. They want relevant, fresh content. And so the more you can stay consistent and up to date, that can then help build that credibility for them to potentially rank you higher in search engines. Okay, kind of along the same lines with the sitemap, we have the broken link checker. Inside that Google Webmaster Tools, there is a section basically we call them crawl errors. Okay, so if Google comes to your site and they index it, and let's say they find 25 pages of content, and then all of a sudden you delete a page, or you add a new page. If Google says, hey, we index a particular page on your site, but it no longer exists, what do we do with this content? So you have to basically take a step to say, okay, Google, here was my old content, here's where it is now, let me link you up, okay? Now, Google's come out and they say it can impact your SEO rankings. They don't put too much preference on it, but to me, it's like directions, you know? If you move to a different house or new building, you don't tell your customers how to get to it. Like, they're gonna get frustrated and not know what to do. So, very, very important to make sure you have no broken links, especially if you've launched multiple websites. What we're now just noticing is we call Google equity, okay? So, websites can change in structure, the URLs, the permalinks. So you can launch an e-commerce website, for example, that's got 1,000 products, and overnight you've got 1,000 errors because now Google has no idea where those products were. So you have to map them from the old website to the new site. So inside that Webmaster Tools, they're going to spit back the errors, and they usually do it every couple weeks. And you want to make sure you just take some time to get that addressed and taken care of, because that can impact your overall SEO value. Okay. SEO optimized images, another free plugin. I'd say this is another kind of commonly overlooked aspect when optimizing a website. So if you have photography or any photo on your site, you want to make sure it's tagged properly. It may not impact your SEO value, like in the organic results, but it can potentially help if someone does like an image search. And that image can then link back to your site, and they can then visit your site from there. So you basically do the alt tag, and inside that alt tag, you're just adding more content, more keywords. And so that goes back to, remember, the page title, the permalink, all of that should be synergistic. And just making sure your images are not just art1.jpg or, file. Whatever. So you just take a few minutes to make sure your photo is named properly. It describes what they're looking at as much as possible. And then you can then tag it into a small alt tag. Okay? Another SEO factor, we use a plugin called W3 Total Cache. I'm seeing a lot now. Google's coming out. They're really starting to press websites and businesses to make sure their sites pull up fast. All right, so we're in a digital age. It's got to be instant. If your site is not pulling up quickly, and you know, it could be 5-10 seconds or whatever, that can dramatically impact it, and Google knows it, and they're not going to want to show slow moving websites. They want sites that are almost instantaneous. So I don't want to go too many funny trails, but there's a lot of different technology coming down the pipeline called AMP and mobile optimization, stuff like that. But overall, this little W3 Total Cache, install it, and it kind of does just some basic generic speed ups. It caches it into the browser, so it loads a little faster. You can help. Okay. And then lastly, I have Wordpress security. This is a new revenue stream for my company. I would say just since November of 2015, we get a phone call, I'd say once or twice a day with a WordPress website getting infected. And they're not all our customers. They could just be hosted on GoDaddy, they could be hosted on a server, and you're going to get slaughtered. I mean, these people come in, they hack your site. We had a guy the other day, it took us 10 hours just to get things under control. I mean, so he got a big old whopping bill from us, and he's like, that stinks. So we upsold him our security service. So once again, if your site does get infected or has malware, a lot of the hosting providers now are taking your site offline, and that feeds to Google. So you guys ever gone to a site that says reported the attack site? That can once again have a dramatic impact on your SEO value. So you got to keep your website clean. And I truly believe that we're only going to see more and more infections, hacks, you know, fraudulent stuff going on. So you've got to keep your website, WordPress plugins, and the core, and all that stuff up to date. Very, very important. You can do it manually. You can sign up for some company like us, where we go in and we do all that for you. We do different things. So, any questions about these? So I'm kind of giving you guys a whole.
You're supposed to have all of those others.
I'm sorry?
You have all of these on.
I truly believe, absolutely. Yep, so your analytics, you're tracking it, you have your SEO, so it allows you just to take the time to go through and make sure all your tags, titles are all good to go. Your sitemap, all your content is submitted to Google. Once you have your content, your site built, you want to make sure there's no broken links so people don't have any issues getting to your site. Optimize your images, make sure it loads fast and it's secure. So I think that's kind of my overall approach to SEO. So all of this goes into impact. So a lot of times people think it's just putting keywords necessary in your site. And I truly believe it's a massive algorithm. It's not just one or two things that a business does. It's a whole entire process.
What do you think about Jetpack?
Jetpack. Yeah, we're seeing a ton of those.
I mean, it consolidates a lot of this.
Exactly, yeah. So if you want something quick and out of the box, absolutely. I personally don't have a lot of experience with that one specifically, so I can't tell you yay or nay. But I'm seeing that rise for sure. There's a lot more popularity, so I think that'll grow and some power moving forward.
How much does where you host your website impact your SEO?
Where you host it? No, I don't think that's going to make a difference. As long as it's, like I said, it's fast, and you know they can get to it fast, and they're not going to have like big delays and stuff like that. But you're not talking like overseas or anything, are you? You talking primarily like in the United States?
Yeah.
Yeah. It could be like.
Well, I have clients that host on SiteGround.
Okay, sure.
And they got hit by that ransomware attack today.
Oh.
SiteGround is some sites were down for 3 or 4 hours.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but they have a hosting hub in Chicago, so they're primarily out of the Webmaster, someplace like that. That's where they're office.
Interesting. Yeah.
But they've got an office in Chicago and an office in San Francisco, so they've got so depending on where you are is where the site is hosted, but everything is in
Oh, nice. And that was just today.
today.
Whoa.
Who was that?
SiteGround hosting.
They need to go to manage.com. All right, any other questions before I move on?
How do having a SSL versus not fit into it?
Yes, great, good point. So it was back in, I think, October of 2016, give or take. There were some blog posts that were put out by Google, and they're basically saying, hey, we're trying to make the web more secure, right? So there wasn't a definitive yes or no, this is going to impact. However, in March of this year, they came out and said, yes, it does impact. So I started keeping an eye out right around March, and just for example, we do web design Omaha, right, just to kind of keep on my industry. There was maybe 2 websites on the first page that were HTTPS, right, or secure, and then within a few weeks, it's all HTTPS. So I started doing auto dealerships and different industries, and all of a sudden I see almost 90% are all SSL, and then you get to the more insecure. So it definitely does impact, and they want to show secure sites. So that's very, very cost effective to get an SSL purchase and install for the site-wide. So if you guys want to make a mention too, it's called Really Simple SSL. That's the plugin that we started using here. Basically what it does is you get the SSL installed on the server, you activate it, and it literally goes through all of your content, your code, and it makes it HTTPS across everything. It's really slick. I know back in the day we had to do that by hand, much like the Xml Sitemap, so that's come a long way too. So, good point, thank you for bringing that up. Okay, ongoing SEO strategy. So let's kind of summarize here. All right, so biggest thing that we're noticing too is fresh content is everything's fast-paced, right? So social media, the news, videos, all this stuff, we're all bombarded with a lot of data. So in order to stay fresh, you've got to keep your site up to date. And while you're doing that, you got to make sure your content is all focused, okay? It can't be wide. It has to literally be focused on specifically what you're trying to target, what you're going after. So for example, we have a customer called Omaha Pest Control. All right. Now, inside of his business, he's got 7 or 8 different services, but overall, each service that he highlights, he's focusing on one primarily service, which is basically Omaha Pest Control. So that's that keyword we're working on, right? So in his ongoing blogs and posts, say Omaha Pest Control in Omaha, Nebraska offers this, this, and this, right? And so during those constant blogs, there's still a similar thread of that particular keyword or phrase, okay? But over the next 12 months, for example, we may highlight one of each services with its own blog, and then inside that blog, we then obviously bring up Omaha Pest Control over and over. So I've personally seen usually about 1 to 2 keywords or phrases is about the most you're going to see out of Google. You can go after multiple keywords and phrases, but it's going to take a long time. So what I mean by that is like Omaha Pest Control, you can't be doing, cockroach spray Omaha or something like that, or some other type of term. So be very specific on what you're doing, and just stay focused on that one particular item. That could be bringing them in, and then you can sell them all your services. Does that make sense? So as I mentioned, yeah, Google loves frequent updates. This keeps you relevant. More content, more keywords, kind of like what I'm talking about here. So as you're keeping your site up to date, I mean, we've been blogging since 2005. So Google has all of that historical record data of all of our blog posts. Now, maybe they don't really care about a lot of the older stuff, but it still is data that they're going to crunch through and feed. And I truly believe that's how we dominated certain keywords.
So are you talking about making sure you have a blog on the site?
Yes.
Or also updating page content all the time?
I mean, personally, I would say go with more the blog. So or a news.
So stay static, the page is on the blog.
Exactly. Yep. Because you have to have some form of an area where you can stay fresh, whether it's we call it news or press release. It doesn't really matter what you title it, but there's somewhere that you're posting new content that's supplementing everything else that's on the rest of the site. Does that make sense? So now, is it wise to go back to your content, that's static, and change it? We really don't do a ton of that. We just kind of are adding in new content to highlight some of the pages and services on our site over months and years.
Now for a business that has let's say they don't have a lot of blog-worthy content, but they have events, a lot each month. Do they see those, those posts as events as posts? Is that good?
Yep, absolutely. Now you just want to make sure inside of your event post that you're providing some description of what the event is, the purpose of the event, where it's located. So making sure you're putting in good content, not just, hey, we're having an event here, it's called Event A on this date, you know what I'm saying? So treat it as if it's like a blog post, and give it a little bit of love, and I think that'll go a long
Yeah, we
way.
got like images.
Perfect. Yep. Absolutely. Great question.
Any resources for keyword
Meaning like trying to figure out which keyword to go after?
specific businesses?
Absolutely. So there is a free resource through Google AdWords. It's called the Keyword Planner. That is, glad you brought that up. Kind of go back to the analytics. So the analytics is the net that keeps track of everything. But another thing that we've seen too is where, see you later, bye-bye. You want to make sure that you're going after a keyword or keyword phrase that actually has traffic. You don't want to go after something that you get 10 searches a month. You want to go after something that's getting hundreds or thousands, you see what I'm saying? So it may be easy to get high in the rankings for a particular phrase, but you get no traffic, so then it's just kind of wasted. So it may take a little longer, but at least you're going after more of a competitive or targeted keyword or keyword phrase. So the Keyword Planner tool, awesome. You can type in what you think, what someone would type in, and Google says, no, this is what you want to go after. So we really put a lot of preference on what Google recommends. And you can see the search volume, local searches, you can do by geo, I mean, it's incredible. So you just have to log into AdWords. Do you have an account for AdWords or, so use that. Good question. All right, anything else? And the last thing I want to mention here too, just stay consistent and committed. I know that seems so basic, but have you guys gone to a website or a news page and it hasn't been updated in 2 years? I mean, think of what that puts into mind. Okay, well, hey, I'm looking for this product or service. I found you some way, somehow, and you haven't updated your blog in 2 years. Why would I expect you to provide up-to-date quality service and products for me? See what I'm saying? So I tell customers, if you don't have the time to blog, don't do it. It's going to actually harm you or hurt you in the long run. So if you're going to do it, stay committed. Same thing with like social media. We were talking earlier about for Agape. You have to stay consistent. There may not be a lot of traction for a while. It may take a few months or years to get it off the ground. But once again, if someone does come into your Twitter account, your LinkedIn or whatever, and they don't see any activity, they're going to bounce right away.
So if you have a client that is like doing e-commerce, so their primary new activities, new products, would that be a comparable for business that's not an active blogger, not active on social media?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So just because you're adding new products into the website very often?
Is that similar?
Yep, absolutely. Now, one thing I like to mention about shopping carts, you guys all know that little shopping tab at Google? Back in the day, they used to allow you to come in and feed your products in. So we developed a website for A1 United Heating and Air, and we gave them the sitemap to our products, and they were global. It was incredible. I mean, it's a brand new business idea. Went global because you were showing up in the shopping and so forth, but now it's all pay-per-click. So you can't even be in the shopping unless you're paying for that. So will that impact you per se in your SEO value? I definitely would say it would, because I mean that's where your product is titled, your permalinks, all your description, and so if someone types in that particular product, hopefully you'll then show up depending on the competition.
So for somebody that has a really specific product, that would be a really good route to, if they put a keyword in that product title.
Yep, correct. And if you can, try to squeeze in a blog. And we see a lot of e-commerce sites, especially the ones we build. We put a little blog feed, and then you can blog about a particular product line or product and just stay consistent with it. So the goal is just to try to, go after your heavy hitters, the ones that got the most profit margin. That's what you want. Because once you sell those, you can then upsell them and, work on your sales process to upsell them. So, yeah, that's hugely important. Stay consistent and committed. Okay? And so, people ask too, well, how often? How often should I do this? For blogging, we suggest at least about once a month. Okay? So, if you can do 2 or 3 times a month, that's okay. Be a little aggressive. You got to keep in mind too, though, you can't have what's called white noise. So if anybody has children, you know how your children can kind of jump at your feet. Hey, Dad, I want a new bike. Dad, I want a new bike. Dad, I want a new bike, right? You kind of, okay, son, okay, Dad. So the key is really not to get too aggressive with your approach. Just do a nice steady drip, stay consistent, and allow Google its time to soak in that content, soak in that data, to then see that you're credible and relevant. So if you do that for months or years, that to me is, I truly believe, how you gain the organic rankings over time. It seems so simple, It's just a matter of just playing the process and waiting. Okay. For social media, we don't do a ton of social media, so I can't really comment too much on that, but I do know that there's probably a strategy out there where you could say, okay, on Mondays we're going to do Facebook, on Tuesday we do Twitter, and on Thursday, we do LinkedIn. So there's something where at least you can stay consistent, and that can have an impact overall on your SEO. But you have to have droves of traffic and followers in order for it to really impact Google, because Google's looking at your content on your physical website. So that's the biggest factor that we've noticed. Okay. All right. I think that's all I wanted to cover here. So I'll open it up for questions, comments.
Do you think it would be safe to say that, okay, like you went over all the basics, and so like a lot of what you talked about like applies to any business, right? But if people were really trying to like cover all their bases, their SEO strategy is probably going to be different depending on what industry they're in and like what type of website they are in general, right?
Yes.
Can you touch on like some of that, like how I guess?
Yeah, and that's a great question. So hopefully I can answer it. So I mean, you're right. Every customer that we work with is unique. It's not. I can't sit there and say, okay, do these 10 steps. And it's going to fit for every business. Because you're right, some are e-commerce, some are products, some are newspapers. I mean, so every industry should have a custom tailored optimization plan. But that kind of goes back to the Google Analytics and just tracking to see, okay, I'm going to try this out for a few months and see what I get, right? If it doesn't work, adapt, change. But overall, though, there is still kind of that underlying basic principle of just getting your stuff coded properly, tagged properly, your content lines up, it's not scattered, it's not disorganized or defragmented, and it's staying consistent. So I do think there's an underlying thread that all industries can benefit from. But for example, like see, our target customers are not on Facebook, Twitter stuff. We tried doing it for 2 years. We threw all kinds of money on it, iPads for free, all this stuff. Got zero out of it. So we focus specifically on Google, because our customer goes to Google on their phone, tablet, they type in web design firm, Omaha, or web design, whatever it is. That's how we capture them. So I don't know if I'm answering your question per se.
No, yeah.
That's it. Okay. So the key really is just looking at the data, analyzing it, and seeing if it's working. And that's one thing I love about the industry that we're in nowadays, you guys. Everything through your internet marketing is trackable. So when you get all these people calling you up saying, hey, pay this, pay that, or this monthly fee on the phone books, that was fun to kind of see their business dying off.
Yeah, Google is in phone books.
Exactly. Yep. So we're like, well, how many phone calls you get? I don't know. How many clicks did you get? I don't know. That's all gone away with. So you can track your results. So if your SEO, your blog writing, your products are not doing anything, don't do it. Save your money, put it elsewhere where you can actually track the results. And so I think businesses can get smarter and more cost effective with their marketing strategies. So hope that answers your question. Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Okay, this is like more of a best practice question, but like a lot of times we'll have like pages that eventually we want to delete, and then I'm worried about like broken links. So what do you do with those kind of pages? Like, do you just let them sit and leave them on there, or should you delete them and clean up like your pages? Or
yeah, that's a great question. I mean, going back to the whole crawl errors, and because to me, I like things nice and tidy and organized, and I'm assuming Google does too, because they don't want to have so much clutter. But the key is you got to make sure that if you are going to delete your content, Google has to be mapped to whatever the new replacement is or where they should be going. So that's the key. If you just delete something, now you're leaving it open for Google to guess. That's where you can potentially have that impact. So is it wrong to delete your content? No. You just want to stay active with the Webmaster tools and keep an eye on what Google sees, because they're going to throw those errors and go, hey, we saw you deleted something, now what do you want us to do with that? Does that make sense? So I think the best practice would be just staying consistent with it. But I mean, if it is still relevant content, I would keep it. I would not touch it. Just let it sit there, especially if you've taken time to optimize it, with your tags and stuff. As long as it's not out of date or irrelevant, with the rest of the site or whatever, I would recommend just keeping it.
what about making it visible versus not visible, and not having it, if it's something that's, you're not, for
example, it's maybe a product line or it's a service that you're not pursuing,
Yep.
and then just pulling that link off of your menus.
Yeah, exactly. I would say, yeah, definitely hide it, but you gotta keep in mind, even though you hide it, it's still gonna be in your sitemap. So Google's still gonna be able to find the way to the back end to get into it. So, but in terms of the visitor aspect, absolutely. Don't keep it on there for them to click in and see out of date or incorrect information. So hide it from their perspective. Keep it in the back end of WordPress. You know, and then you can come back and delete it in once it's X amount of months or a long time. So,
I had like a similar situation. I had this professional group that they kind of like changed the format of one of their venues, and like they even changed the domain name, everything. It's the same website, but they like kind of revamped. You know, got rid of a couple of things that were completely irrelevant. So I got like a redirect plugin, and then so I was able to like even redirect like pages were completely gone, redirect them. So it's like, is that something you can do?
absolutely, yeah. So you can definitely do the redirects through the back end of WordPress if you want. You can also do it at the server level. You have a little more technical experience there, but yes, I can use a free plugin, and we just call it, I think it's just redirects for WordPress. Install it, and that way then you can help assist with those Google crawlers and so